And we are live here on the 6th edition of the Redline, the all call in red pill helpline. 914-205-5356 is the number to call if you want to get in on the show. If you have a question, if you have a comment, if you have anything to ask about tonight's particular topic. If you have a question to ask about another topic from another day, you can certainly do that as well. Again, that's 914-205-5356. That is the number to call. So, joining me tonight, of course, Steve the Dean Williams of themanmindset.com. Also joining us tonight is Bobby Dino.
Hello.
Yeah, man. Listen, newest member of the the 21 convention crew. I remember, Bobby, the first time I met you, and I said this when we did the 21 convention.
You did.
We did it live. I was like, hey, you know what? I met you 10 minutes ago, and here we are. So
right. Yeah, it was seconds, and interesting crew, brilliant set of minds, and glad to be included.
Good. Absolutely, it is good to have you, Steve. How's it going tonight, man?
Oh man, it's going wonderful, man. Just looking forward to chopping it up, and like I say, Bobby's a world class man. I got a chance to meet him in Orlando, man. He's a great motherfucker, man. Just awesome.
He's a good dude.
Yeah, very good dude.
Definitely a good dude. Shout out to James R with the $5 super chat. Just says, just seeing if I can pop the super chat cherry. Thanks for all the great work, guys. I appreciate that, James R. Dean Nip with the $2 super chat to smash the like button and buy tactical soap. You can also smash, interestingly enough, I've been doing some research on, YouTube analytics. I actually subscribe to a channel that tells you best practices in terms of YouTube. And believe it or not, even the dislikes are almost as good as likes, right? So, and this is real talk. Like when people hit the dislike button, that doesn't damage the video. What that does is that's an engagement. That is an action. Okay. So if something, and listen, we know that, polarizing personalities are the personalities that get paid the most. Bill O'Reilly, for example, half the people loved him, half the people hated him. Donald Trump, there's another example. Half the people love him, half the people hate him. Those are both very successful people. So if you like what we're doing, hit the like button. If you don't, hit the thumbs down, hit the dislike button. Either way is perfectly fine with us. That is an engagement. Freelance Runner with another $5 super chat. I appreciate that, Freelance. He says, drop it into the tip jar. So let's go ahead and get to it, guys. I'm going to start things off by talking about a question that most, if not all of us here, myself included, have made the egregious mistake of asking a female that we are romantically involved with. And that question is, how many men have you slept with?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Every one of us has heard whatever number she gives us, right? And the weird thing is that it always surprises us. Doesn't matter if she tells you 2, 5, 10, 20, 50, 70, 100, whatever she says, the reaction is like, Jesus fucking Christ, 3 guys, that's a lot of dudes, right? Now, knowing what we know with 100% certainty that whatever number a girl gives you in terms of how many dudes she's been with, that she is always lying. And any female who denies that is also lying. And any man who denies that is still in the dark. So, Steve, I'm going to start with you. Why do women, females, why do they lie about their notch counts? Listen, society tells women, well, it doesn't matter how many men you've slept with. Well, if it doesn't matter, then why are they always lowering the notch count? What's your best guess on this?
Well, it's a lie to themselves, number one, but it's just avoiding judgment. A lot of women feel like if they tell the guys the truth about how many men they had in their lives, they would be judged by a lot of guys, because what's happening nowadays, most guys are so judgmental when it comes to women. They judge them for everything that they do, which is their prerogative. But fuck, you know what I mean? Well, that's their thing, yeah. But at the end of the day, man, it's something that they just want to cover up because they want to look as they're clean, wholesome, and they're good natured, but they just don't want the truth to come out, man.
Bobby, what's your guess on this, man?
Okay, I agree largely with what Steve was just saying about the judgment factor. I will add or amend a little bit to that. So here's why I think a lot of chicks lie about the number. All right. is because they sleep with dudes that they don't want anyone knowing that they slept with.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
No, for real. I mean, and it's all different types of stuff, whether it be like some ugly dude, whether it be like they're pulling a sugar daddy move,
Right.
or it was like somebody that was like 30 years older than them, and they're like, I don't want people to know about that shit. I mean, whatever it is, I think a lot of it chalks up to like they were doing some shit that they wanted to be like 100% undercover, nobody knows about.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Listen, my guess is this is Mother Nature. To me, this is biology. I don't think women have to be told that men of value don't commit to women who have slept with a lot of men. I don't think anybody has to tell them that. I think they naturally know. Just like as men, we know we like fit, beautiful women. Women like strong, masculine men. You don't have to be told as a woman, hey, girls who sleep with a lot of guys, girls that we characterize as harlots or tarts, is what they call them back in the day, are not really marriage material, right? Actually, and I'll tell you guys this, what got me thinking about notch counts, women and notch counts, is that Devin was actually on the Red Pill Women subreddit, which is a misnomer wrapped in an oxymoron at best. But she saw a question posted by a chick asking if girls should lie about their notch counts. However, the interesting thing is that every single person who responded, male or female, rightfully assumed that she was asking if the number should if the woman should reduce their number when asked. She didn't ask, well, should we reduce our notch count number when asked? No, she said, should women lie about their notch count? And everyone instantly knew that she wasn't talking about lying by increasing the number of dudes that she had slept with. What that question alone tells me, okay, is that the average female in this country gets way more dick than the average man gets pussy, right? Listen, not that I had to tell you guys that, but anyone who is still in the dark about how promiscuous females are, that's really all you need to know. But I digress. I'll put it to you like this. The question that is posed isn't really a good one because to me, there's an obvious answer, but I'm going to break this down quickly in two ways. If she lies versus if she tells you what she defines as the truth, and then take it one step further and give you the red pill analysis versus the blue pill analysis. And stay with me here. And I actually like you guys to weigh in on the chat because I'm gonna come to Bobby and Steve with this too, because I'm very interested to hear other points of view on this. Guys, give me a call 914-205-5356. And hit me in the chat. I'd really like other people's opinions on this because I don't think I have to tell Steve this. Now, Bobby, you're quickly going to see if you're looking in the chat. We actually have one of the more informed audiences. We don't have to explain anything remedial. We know, right? They know what hypergamy is. They know what the wall is. They know what the cock carousel is. We don't have to explain any of that stuff. Listen, I'm willing to change my mind if I see a rock solid argument that could sway me one way or the other. Anyway. Here's how we're going to do this, right? If she tells me the truth and says, okay, Donovan, if you really want to know, I've slept with 45 guys. Now, Red Pill Donovan knows for a fact that this chick has been banged by at least 150 dudes. Okay? That's just all there is to it. We all know the rule of three. Some people like myself, we like to call it the rule of seven, right? But depending upon her age, that's sort of a sliding scale. Basically, a 20-something, multiply it by 3 and 5. If she's in her 30s, multiply that number by 6 or 7. If she's over 40 and still mildly attractive, multiply it by 10. So let's talk about the number. So, Steve, if a girl comes to you and says, Steve, I've slept with 45 guys. And listen, Steve, I already know what answer I'm going to get from Steve. Steve's like, I don't give a damn how many guys she slept with, right? But I want to know from Steve what your thoughts are if a girl says, I've slept with 45, 48 guys. What's the first thing that comes to mind?
Well, of course, my head's going to think whore and slut. You know what I mean? I mean, it's an automatic trigger. I mean, anything above a 10, just to me is just very promiscuous. It's just a very whore. I mean, I can't roll that word, man. Anyway, so the thing is that, like you said before, a lot of these women love sex, and that's something a lot of guys don't understand. And a lot of guys don't believe that, but women, they masturbate several times a day, just about. when you're driving down the street and you're in rush hour traffic and you look over and you think she's bobbing her head to some music, you don't know what she's doing underneath that car. So when they come to me with that coming, and again, I don't see, here's my thing. I don't even ask because really I don't want to know because again, unfortunately, even though I try not to judge, I'm a judge. And I'm going to automatically put her in the booty call category with 42. Her pussy look like chewed up meat, man. She can't do nothing for me. So I don't ask or how many guys she slept with because I really don't want to know, Donovan.
Bobby, if the girl says, Bobby, I've slept with 45 guys, please don't judge me. What's the first?
Oh, man. Just like that. As soon as I hear 45, I'm just like, I start thinking of like ways that I can exit. You know what I mean? Like that's nothing. There's a mindset that goes along with that, you know, and something that's been ridden that many times, you know. It's like breaking a horse, right? So let's say a horse is out on a trail, right? You trail ride a horse enough, you can put blind, that horse can go blind and still fucking follow that trail.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's just a mindset that you're gonna run across with somebody that's really been that busy. You know, I mean, I can understand, look, people are people. You know, nowadays, especially, people are getting divorced for all kinds of reasons, you know, whether it's abusive relationships or whether it's, you know, everything's not just you know, oh, she's a hoe or, you know, he was a dick. There's always, you know, a to and from for each side, right? But so you're, you know, I can understand if somebody's, you know, been with a few, or maybe somebody was with a guy for a long time and then now they're trying to kind of get out back on the field. You know, I'm not going to judge that so much, but Jesus Christ, you're coming at me with 50. That's a lot, man.
Dude,
that's a lot.
Listen, 50 is a lot. But if a girl admits that she has had sex with 50 guys, dude, you know,
I know,
digits, man.
But just that number alone, I'm doing the math in my head, but instantly I'm just like, oh no, oh no. Yeah, that's no good at all, man.
You guys are listening to the 6th edition of Redline, the all call-in red pill helpline. 914-205-5356 is the number to call if you want to get it on the line. Area code 403. I see you on the line. I want to take a quick break here and introduce our new guest. His name is Bobby Dino. You guys can find him on Twitter at Real Bobby Dino. You guys can also find him on Facebook, I believe. BobbyDino.com is his website. Bobby, if you could give our viewers the Reader's Digest as to who you are, because a lot of guys are like, all right, who's the white, bald, bearded guy?
Oh, geez.
Who's all of a sudden talking with the other balded and bearded guys?
Yeah, that's right, beard gang. No, you guys are recruiting, and I joined. You know, no. So when I was younger, I was involved in some enterprises that were no good. I ended up going to prison for a long time because of it, picked up more time in prison, ended up serving a total of 10 years. But while I was in there, I had the mindset shift that I implemented while I was inside. I still had 5 years to go, to where I was like, I'm not going to live a criminal bullshit dumb life. I'm gonna live a straight life and be successful the right way. And so that's what I've been doing. I've been home more than 9 years now, and I'm knocking it out for myself and helping others knock it out, and just founded a nonprofit, and yeah, man, things are going good.
Excellent, man. Where can they because you're an author, you're a speaker, you're a consultant, you're a businessman. What kind of services do you offer? Do you do consultations? Do you do one-on-one? What kind of things do you offer the public?
I do, and thanks for bringing that up, because I just started another way of doing consultations. I was trying to see maybe if it was a different shift that people might like, and experimenting with it a little bit. So I consult on a number of things. A lot of things that I consult with is mindset, but I have consulted people, not to go into too much detail because I don't want to I wouldn't want to break any type of trust that I have with them, but you know, just suffice to say a number of things. And now I've started this new service through a brand new website that this guy Miles started. It's called Conv, I think is the way that it's pronounced. I could be wrong, but it's CONVV.com. And what I'm doing through there is also another coaching and mentorship service, or it's a subscription service. You can sign up You get to text me 5 days a week and
Oh, wow.
and talk to me once a week for 15 minutes. And yeah, I mean, it's something to where I wanted to make kind of like a virtual big brother or a virtual mentor, somebody you could have on your phone, like just, at the disposal. So yeah, something we're trying out and doing there. But those are the type of coaching services that I do. The big thing that I do is write, but the coaching and consultations has been wonderful as well.
Very, very good, man. Yeah, it's interesting. I do consultations as well. Steve does one-on-one coaching. I think there's tremendous value in making yourself available to your audience, because it's very easy to sit here on this side of the camera and just do the show and do the chat and all that. But that one-on-one time with people who really need it, it's invaluable, man. It really is.
The funny thing, I'll give it back real quick, but
no, take your time.
Just to tee off on that a little bit. I called someone that I had met at the 21 Convention Patriarch Edition because we had exchanged numbers and he had, confided in me about some stuff and what he was doing. And I just wanted to check up on the dude, just say, hey, where you at and all that. Right. Well, we talked for almost an hour and a half, man.
Wow.
And yeah, but towards the end, when I was getting off, he was like, hey, man, was there anything that you wanted? And I was like, no, I was just checking in on you. And he thought that was the coolest thing. He thought I was calling him for something, like I was going to pitch him on something or, ask him for something. He just thought it was cool that I was checking up on him. And people, that type of connection and making yourself available like that, like you just said, they'll remember that type of stuff forever.
Yeah, they will, especially because you took the time you took time out of your day to call this dude. 914-205-5356 is the number to call. Area code 403. You're on live with the Red Line. Go ahead.
Hey, yo. What's up, guys? How's
What's
it
up?
going tonight?
Doing good. You?
It's been a shitty day, and I'm kind of calling in off topic because of I wanted some advice dealing with a blue pill family member, namely my dad. And it involves some bullshit with, dealing with the women in my family as well. But basically, I told him to fuck off today because I found out earlier this week, and it took me a few days to kind of chew on it and for things to really digest. But he's been married now for about 35 years to another woman that they want to celebrate their anniversary. They live across the country, and they've scheduled this celebration on my birthday. So this guy wants me to fly across the country to kind of celebrate the fact that my parents don't love each other. And, I've had to grow up that way. I'm 38, white male. And been red pill, I guess, about 4 years now. Okay. And don't talk with my mom. She's a mess, and also just a self-absorbed narcissist. But like for the last few years, like this was the guy I kind of turned to deal with the fact that I had, this woman that raised me, who I guess now, like him, like I'm the low priority on the totem pole. It's always been the men in her life that were number one. And it's just a lot of self-absorbed bullshit, and I don't know what to do with any of that right now, and it's pretty raw. So
sure,
I'm just kind of reaching out.
Yeah, the interesting, and I'll come to Steve with this too, because a lot of people, a lot of men like yourself, normally you call in, listen, I got a friend of mine, he's about to get married. The woman that he's about to marry is going to wreck his life. I can see it. I can taste it. And, we're very quick to sort of give kind of advice on that. There's really, listen, man, the red pill, people only take the red pill when they seek it out. You can't say, hey, have you read The Rational Male yet? No, you have to, if they come to you and say, hey, listen, man, like, I know you talked about this red pill stuff. My wife is starting to act up. What was this, what was this Rollo Tomasi guy you were talking about? What was this Red Man group you were talking about? That's really the only time that you should, I guess, really be reactive. But when you're talking about your father, trying to red pill your father, I think is probably a little bit different. Steve, what do you think are the differences between red pilling your father versus maybe a friend? Because I think those are two very different dynamics. What do you think?
Well, to me, I think the reason I feel like they're kind of the same because a man is a man. You know what I mean, Donovan? And,
Yeah.
and this is where I'm going with it. Because not to say that you're wrong at all. This is where I'm going with it. See, the thing is, a lot of people want to separate church and state when it comes to being a man. You know what I mean?
Right.
And my thing is that as a man, keyword man, you've got to be more of a leader and let people watch you in your element so they can learn from you. And I mean, like, for instance, his father can learn from the son easily because a lot of father, just because, like I always say, just because dad is in the household, Donovan, doesn't make him a man.
That's right.
Most dads who have been beaten down, happy wife, happy life, don't make mom mad. But what this young man can do is lead by example to show the friend as well as his father how men behave, how men act, and how men demand respect. And it's not that this young man can't check his mother. Love your mom, but once you leave mom's house, she's got to respect you as a man just like everybody else. Mom is not allowed to tell you what kind of drapes you're supposed to have in your house and what color your couch should be. And mom is not allowed to tell you who you should date and things like that. Mom, your job is think of me as your baby and that's it. But don't try to tell me how to be something that I'm not. So I didn't mean to add mom as an element in there, but yes, Donovan, I think for this young man, as a man is a man, and that's all you can be. And it's on the two individuals watching the caller to see if they want to learn from him, because that's some of the problems a lot of people are having, Donovan.
Bobby, what are your thoughts on this? Because I know you've probably had friends reach out to you, but what if, I don't know what your dad's name is, Bobby Senior. If Bobby Senior,
Junior, he'd be Junior.
Oh, okay. Yeah. If Bobby, I guess you're Bobby 3, Bobby the 3rd. If Bobby Senior comes to you and says, "All right, Bobby 3, I've messed up my life. What should I do?"
That's an interesting question. Only because my dad died before I was born. I wouldn't I wouldn't be the best qualified to like give that because I didn't really have an actual dad son dynamic. I had a grandfather kind of dynamic, to where I watched him, but not my own dad. But I would say this. I can relate to what our caller's going through, in the sense that I have a son that's going to be 23 next month, and I'm living with someone that's not his mom in another part of the state, and he's down there, and his mom is a narcissistic bitch that has put every swinging dick in front of him. She's had way messed up boyfriends that were assholes to him and all that shit, and I was locked up at the time, couldn't do nothing about it. So I can sympathize in that respect that, hey man, I understand what you're going through. From the dad's side, the only thing that's a little bit different is my son don't really have a fuck you relationship.
Okay.
We're just like, we're cool with each other, but it's not as strong as it could be because it was just poison, all his life. And that's just what he knows. But I will say this, he's going through some stuff too. And a son can play a big influence on what the dad is going to take in. And the reason why I say that is because as dads get older, and being that caller's 38, I believe he said, that, his dad's even older still. Okay. They want to spend more and more time with their kids, man, because they're realizing like memories is all they got. You know what I mean? So if you're coming to them and willing to spend time with your father, like, hey, dad, there was this book I read about this or that, or, hey, are you doing something? Because I've got this thing that we can go to. He's more susceptible to take you up on that offer.
I never thought of it that way. That's almost like a passive way. That's almost like a passive way to kind of, plant the seed. I guess you're saying.
Well, yeah, I guess it's not really passive because you have to take action, you know, to get involved with your dad. You have to, but the thing is that it's knowing that you're going to have a more retentive audience. It's like selling something to people that you know that they want what you got. You know what I mean? It's like,
right.
you know, like, okay, he's going to maybe receive this a little bit better. Hopefully. I don't know about after the fuck you part, you know, that part, you know, we got to get past that and do, you know, see what we can work out. But, you know,
I guess all that remains to be seen. Listen, obviously time and context and circumstance has a lot to it. Let's go back to the phone lines. Area code 616. You are on with the red line. Go ahead.
Hi, yeah, thanks so much for taking my call. My question is this: once you become really good at this stuff, as far as like attracting girls and this and that, my question is, how do you handle when, for example, like one of your best friends' wife or devout Christian, so to speak, she ends up giving you the "I want you to fuck me" look?
Yeah.
How would you handle that friendship? Also, I mean, I had the same situation with my brother's ex. My own brother's wife, giving me these signals, and I don't know how to handle that situation. I'm not talking about as far as, you know, fucking the girl. Of course, I'm not going to do that. Sure. But as far as handling the friendship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going to go first. No, absolutely. Listen, these are very good questions because these are very real things. When you start to improve yourself, women are going to notice. But guess what? Your brother's wives, your best friend's wives, your father's wives, this is all women. Just because someone is related to you, that does not make their women immune to your improvement. The best way to handle this is just to continue to be their friend. Obviously, you're not going to fuck these girls. That would, there's way too much pussy out there to be fucking your friends and brothers. And I think you know that. I think you already said that. But if you tell them, hey, by the way, your wife is kind of giving me the eye, it's never going to go over well because number one, they're not going to believe you. Number two, they're going to think that you might have something to do with it. So what I would do is I would continue to be their friend. But if you know she's going to be around, like if he says, hey, you know, come over and watch the game. If you know the wife isn't going to be there, great, you can go over there. I'm not saying that you should avoid the wife at all costs, but I would limit my exposure to the wife so you don't cause a rift between you and your potential friend. Bros before hoes, man. Steve, what do you got?
Yeah, my whole thing is this. This is one of the reasons I always warn people when they cross over to this stuff is that you're gonna have what you don't understand is I always tell guys is that you're going to do 10% of the work and your friends are going to do 90% of the work of selling you without you even knowing it, because some of these guys don't know how to talk to their women. So they think by bringing up gossip and things, they're going to do better. So what they'll do is they'll say, for you caller, they'll be like, can you believe what you did today? Or how many women you talked to today? And he did this with the woman and he did that. And what he's doing is he's gassing you up to his woman where she's going to want to bump into you and pinch you to see if you're the real thing. This is why I tell guys, I don't hang around women. I don't put myself in positions to do that because it has happened several times where I'm not even trying to do anything and yet they flirt with me on the side, and then your friend is going to get mad at you. Your friend is going to blame you before he looks at the woman. That's the first thing that's going to happen. Even though it's not your fault, he's going to blame you because in his eyes, you're backstabbing him and all you did was show up. But what he doesn't understand, and a lot of people don't understand, is when you get in these pods and these groups, there's gossip. And I always tell you guys, having a bad reputation is a great thing, but it's going to bite you in the ass sometimes when the gossip is about you and all the women that you're slaying or all the women that you're talking to, because to women, that's intriguing when they don't get it from their own men. So then they're going to start talking to you. They're going to start flirting with you. I mean, it depends on how bad your friends are gassing you up. So what I would tell you is, like Donovan said, if you're going over to watch football, yeah, be courteous, say hi, but I don't look at her. I won't talk to her, and I'll keep my eyes on the TV and my fellas. That's what I do because I don't want anybody to assume that I'm trying to do something with their woman. Donovan?
Bobby, listen, because my guess is that you probably had experience with this, right? Like your homeboy's, I was going to say your homeboy's wife. I was like, ooh, Bobby, so you did time in prison. Tell me all about it.
Well, here's another thing. When I'm totally agreeing with what my man Steve's talking about earlier about dudes not knowing how to talk. Um, One thing I'll add to that is dudes not knowing how to talk is it's really dumb when dudes start talking about their own wives.
Woo.
Like, oh yeah, and then I put it to her like that, and she likes this or she likes that, because what can end up happening there too is now you're putting out bait for people that your homeboys that are hearing it, that are going to be, Mr. Sly Snake in the grass. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So the talking is all the way bad. When it's coming from a friend's wife, I would suggest, like you said, limiting exposure to the friend to like a high and whatever, like, just very cordial,
Yes.
civil, nothing else beyond that. No need to say nothing to your friend about it, because you may be misperceiving shit. That could be rule number one. You may be thinking a thing that ain't true. Okay. And
right.
we got to recognize that. Okay. And then B, even if it is true, ain't nothing happened yet. I will say this though. The second that chick tries to get live on you or tries to get something, you need to tell your friend, because that relationship's fucked no matter what you do.
That's right. That's right.
And if you don't tell him, then it's going to be all bad. And when you do tell them, it's going to probably be all bad too, because a lot of guys have one-itis. Very few guys out there are actually, that have been married for a long time, are actually like bros before hoes.
Yep.
Because they got the family and they got, so I mean, but either way, as soon as that happens, it's game over.
I agree with you. I think that if the wife actually tries something physically on you, you got to get the hell out of there and don't come back, man. Right. Because if you don't tell her, if you don't tell your homeboy that his wife just tried to jump your bones, guess what? At some point, she might actually do that, right? She might get mad at him. You know what? That's why I fucked Donovan when he came over that day, right?
Well, the reason why I say this is because I have a cousin that's 12 days older than me. Our moms are sisters, and we grew up together. We did a lot of dirt together. I mean, it's a good thing we don't hang out now.
Right.
We were close back in the day, and he was with this girl that tried to get live with me one night. She had driven me and a couple friends home and tried to do that. And I was like, oh man, I'm going to call my cousin in the morning and tell him, because it was like 1 a.m, and I'm like, I'll call him in the morning and tell him everything. He called me in the morning because she said that I tried to hook up with her.
There you go.
Ugly
there you
ass.
Go.
Okay. And it was like, I mean, this broad was like a solid fucking 4. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing I would touch with a fucking rake, and
warn you for it that.
Right. Yeah. And she said I was trying to, so, that's what, you're exactly right. That's what will happen.
Steve, you said you had something here. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to piggyback off of Bobby. I remember, when you're moving from one apartment to another, there's usually a in-between gap where, you just can't, sometimes they make a week off or a 2-week gap. So what I did was I asked to stay with my friend. Now, him and his wife wasn't really getting along, but he was always gassing me up to his woman. Now, when I got over there, I told him, look, I'll stay on the couch. I'll mind my own business. Look, but I want to know, is it okay if I have women come by and pick me up? Okay, now listen, I'm not going to have them in the house. I just want, because back, then I wanted the women to chauffeur my ass around. So
right.
I want to know if it's okay if the women, they say, okay, Steve, it's fine. They thought it was just like 1 or 2. Well, every day a new one would knock on the door, and his girl started noticing that the women were knocking on the door for me. And again, I was being respectful. I just to sum it up real quick. So one day I'm watching, I think basketball, or I'm playing video games, and they get in this argument, and then all of a sudden she's like, well, if you walk out that door, I'm gonna take all my clothes off in front of Steve. I'm like, wait. Oh wait, yeah, right. It was a Twix moment. When you open up the Twix pack and everything free.
Yeah, right.
I just turned off my game and started packing my clothes up, and it was because the trust was gone. Because at that point he's thinking, what are they doing when I'm not there? And dude, I'd never. And look, you know me, I'm a whore, but this is my boy. I would never smash his girl, man.
No.
Never. I'm not that kind of guy.
Yeah, and that's what upset me about my cousin too. Is me and my cousin were on the same crew me and my cousin, we hung out for a long time, and he should have just fucking known better. And the fact that he, and this wasn't even his wife. This wasn't even, this is just some girlfriend, And so, but yeah, just like you're saying, immediately assume the worst.
Yeah, listen, both of you guys actually nailed it on the head when you guys talk about your homeboy gassing you up to his wife. You see, your homeboy tells his wife, yeah, Donovan, he's a womanizer, and oh my God, you can't trust him, and he's got a bad reputation. He doesn't know that he is moistening her nether regions. Like, you telling her those things ain't doing you any favors, bruh. Like, you are not turning her, like, listen, I've been friend zoned before, right? This is way back in the day. Oh, you don't need that guy. He's bad for you. He's violent. He's this and that and the other. All you are doing is basically guiding his cock into her vagina. This is what you are doing. And he thinks you on the way in, slaps you 5. That's how it goes. You are listening to episode 6, or the 6th edition of the Redline. Let's continue with the notch count. Why women lie about their notch count. Let me give you a scenario, right? So a girl says, Donovan, if you really want to know, I've slept with 45 guys. I got Steve's answer. I got Bobby's answer. Now, like I said, man, Red Pill Donovan knows for a fact that she has banged at least 150 guys, right? And remember, I put my multiplier. She's in her 20s. Okay, multiply the number by 3 and 5, depending upon whether she's in her early, mid, or late 20s. If she's in her 30s, multiply it by 6 or 7. If she's in her 40s, and still mildly attractive, you multiply that number by 10. Now, some of you might think, Donovan, that's fucking extreme, dude. If a 43-year-old woman tells me she's fucked 25 guys, there's no way she has fucked 250 guys. And to that, I say keep your head in the sand. When you're out with her and guys you run and you guys keep running into her exes or her hookups for the 3rd time that month, you'll come around. You guys got to understand something, man. In 2019, women can fuck dudes into the double digits within a calendar week. And this is because of dating apps. Even ugly chicks are out here getting dick thrown at them on the regular on these apps, man. We also know that women have 0 impulse control and they need constant validation. So if you think for 1 second that your woman in her 40s hasn't fucked 150 dudes when she tells you 15, I would strongly recommend going back to episode 1 of The Sharp Reality and binge listening until you smarten up. What is your thought, Steve, on the 40-year-old slut, the 40-year-old woman who says, Steve, I was married for 15, I was married for 20 years. I got married young, but my husband cheated on me and blah, 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 blah. What if she tells you this? Where does your mind go, right? So let's say she gets married at 20, she gets divorced at 39, 40, 41. And she tells you, well, Steve, I've only slept with 15 guys. I had a few boyfriends before I met my husband, but I got married young. What are your thoughts on that?
Here's the problem, dude. You can't trust them as far as you're throwing when it comes to that number, dude. You always got to multiply the number, man. Look, here's the thing. And what tells me why she's lying, because she's not happy in her marriage. And if she's not happy in her marriage, that's why they have those women getaways. That's why they want to go to Vegas or go out of town with the girls. So it gives them an excuse.
Go see Donovan, who lives out of Soho, right? Yeah,
exactly. So I don't. Again, Donovan, I don't eat I'm like with Bobby. I don't want to know, Donovan. That is one question I never ask because I'm judgmental. I'm shallow and I'm very judgmental. And if I hear a number I don't like, I just see you in such a hey, the things I want to know. I didn't want to know that Santa Claus wasn't real. I didn't want to know WWF was fake, and I don't want to know how many guys.
Oh my God!
I don't want to know, dog. Don't tell me. Stop it. Don't tell me.
Listen, Stevie hit the nail right on the head, man. Check this out. When a woman tells you that she has slept with 35 guys, this is when you found out that Hulk Hogan really isn't fighting for real against the Ultimate Warrior. I was 12 years old. I was like, wait a minute. You mean to tell me, wait, what? I didn't want to believe it. I had one-itis for wrestling. I said, nope, there's no way. There's no way that Junkyard Dog and Tito Santana aren't really in there throwing hands, man. Bobby, what's your thoughts on the 40-year-old woman, divorcee, Says she's slept with 15 guys. What are your thoughts on that?
God, you brought up Ultimate Warrior, and he was one of my favorites. He had those
Who's the man, dude?
ties up here.
Oh yeah, yeah, dude. Yeah,
You know what I mean?
It
was just like Flair or some shit. Who knows, man?
Listen, I think the Ultimate Warrior, dude, he had to be on speed every time he was in the ring, dude. That's pretty died at like 36 years old or something like that. Some crazy number like that.
So fun. That's so crazy. Yeah. So the 40-year-old, I've only been with so many men. Now, I will say this, okay? Now, and this is at a man's own risk, okay? There is an interesting culture that's starting to pop up as we see more and more immigrants come to America, okay? To where you can find, these different, especially Middle Eastern women, whether they're Persian, Armenian. My wife's Armenian, but I've known my wife since I was 14 years old. But I mean, like different areas from the Middle East. Now, those women are brought up in a culture to where it's very hard to be with more than a couple or few men because it's just all eyes on them every time they go anywhere, right?
Of course.
So that if some guy's looking for a low count, that might be a way to go. Maybe consider like, have I checked out this region of the world? But other than that, like if you're talking to any chick from America, yeah, it's they do stuff that they keep secret better than men.
Yes.
I'm telling you, man. They do stuff that no one will ever know, because they know people are judgmental.
That's right.
Okay. And I'm telling you, and talking about, the offers and people giving you the eyes and stuff like that. Jesus Christ, I can't tell you how many times that's happened, dude. And it sucks, man, because you're just like, which, but I mean, it's just something.
What do you do?
Right. So there's a lot of American women that are just super duper sneaky and super duper, just keeping their mouth shut.
On an unrelated topic, Freelance Ronin just put in there, says Flair getting ready to get back in the ring again. Freelance, bro, listen, man, you please tell me that's not true. Please tell me that is absolutely not true. We cannot see Ric Flair in the ring anymore. Holy smokes. 914.
That seems like it'd be a huge liability, man.
That would
dude just dropped dead.
Dude, yeah, exactly. He's probably gonna he's got like a year.
Like how could you get insurance for that event?
Oh my God. Freelance said he said it himself. Oh no. See, now I gotta do research. Yeah. Oh my God, he just ruined my day. We got two callers online, area code 205 and 601. Let's go to area code 205. You're on with the red line. Go ahead.
Hey, Donovan, Steve.
Hey, what's up, man?
Appreciate you guys taking my call.
Absolutely.
I got a quick question. This is Fang. I was in the chat earlier. I just had a quick question.
Sure.
How much does notch count really matter? I mean, if we're all about, with hypergamy and all that stuff, it's just your turn. Why not just? How much is it to worry about the notch count versus just say, hey, I'm enjoying what bad habits may have,
absolutely,
or whatever expertise she's gleaned. If she's good at giving head and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I just enjoy the fact that I'm getting that now.
Right.
I mean, how do I go about rectifying that with my own somewhat puritanical views? You know what I mean?
No. Listen, I'm with you. That is the great, maybe I'm using the wrong word here. That's the great parrot, or that's the great quagmire, right? We teach guys game and fuck this bitch.
Paradox.
Paradox. Okay, so I got that kind of wrong. But yeah, that's just it. It's like we teach guys to go out and get game and fuck this girl or that, but we're contributing to her notch count. Oh my God, she's fucked 58 guys. Well, you were one of those 58 guys, right? The way you reconcile that is what Steve said right at the top of the show. You don't want to know, man. You have to understand. Now, it really depends upon, oh, wow, this is a very deep question. When you first meet a girl, notch count doesn't matter. Listen, notch count doesn't matter. If you want to fuck her, you don't care if she's fucked 2 guys or 200, you want to bang her, right? Notch count starts to matter. The longer you spend with a woman, the more the more you start to care about the woman, the more the notch count matters. Because when you're fucking a girl for 2 weeks, who gives a shit? The sex is great. She's sucking, everything is great. But when you start to care about a woman more, the more you care about a number, the more the notch count matters. This is where we have to fight our natural impulses to say, am I the best? Am I the biggest? Am I one of a million? Am I one in a million? So you have to be very careful, because at the beginning of the relationship, sexual relationship, you never, ever, ever worry about a woman's notch count. Dude, I've never been in a Vegas casino, right? I walk up on a big titty, fake titty blonde. Hey, by the way, I'm Donovan. What's your notch count? 72. Oops, sorry, can't mess with you, sweetie. No, I don't care. Like, dude, I'm in apartment 1406 at the Soho. Like, meet me there at midnight. I don't care. But the longer you spend with women, the more the notch count seems to matter. What do you say about what say you, Steve?
Well, yeah, you're right. And see, the problem, I call a great call, man.
That is a great question, man. He's like, you think over here, dude?
That great question, man. See,
I've been learning a lot from you guys. I've been binge watching y'all for months.
Oh, well, hey, much love to you, man.
How dare you, 205?
We appreciate you, man. But check it out. See, the reason why I was a gigolo and I was so profitable at doing that was because of the judgments that were always placed on women. And the thing about a guy is that he doesn't intentionally mean to judge, but if sometimes there are some things you want to ask that you really don't want to answer to, because like Donovan said, he took my thunder, of course, like he always does. But you hear that, well, I slept with this many guys, and you're like, well, was he better than me? Was he bigger than me? When did y'all do it? Where did you do it? Why did you do it? How did you do it?
Times?
Right. Yeah. So yeah, how many times did you? And are you thinking about him right now as we speak? Don't stress yourself out with that, because the thing is, some of you guys may ask a question and then she's gonna give you that answer, and then you'll never see her the same. Now, it's one thing if you took a little blue light and you scrolled it up and down her body and saw, cum war wounds. That's different.
You stupid.
Yeah. If she had cum markings all over her body, that's something.
Oh my God.
That's something totally different. But dude, please, man, don't ask, bro. I promise you don't want to hear the truthful answer. You don't want to hear about those nights where he's driving and she's giving him head, or cutting him off, or they're at the theater and he's smacking her in the face with his dick. You don't want to hear that stuff, man. Just leave it alone, man.
Hey, check this out. Roadhead will get you killed, man. Listen, I've gotten head while driving. I've almost died every single time. Can't be done. It can't be done.
You got to buy a Tesla.
I swear, dude.
Driving feature.
Hey, listen. Roadhead is listen. Now, I'm gonna tell you what. With these new cars, Roadhead is a lot safer. But dude, I was driving my '84 Honda Accord back when I was 24 years old. Roadhead was no good, and I was driving a stick. So I was like, no, wait, hold. Bobby, what are your thoughts on how much a woman's notch count matters to a man?
Well, it all depends on where your mindset is at as a man. I mean, is this something that are you having fun? Are you wanting to bring a woman home to mom? I mean, where's your mindset? Are you looking to settle down? Are you just looking to, for the current thing? And as far as notch count, that just goes to show, like we were talking about earlier, what a woman's mindset or particular mindset or habits are. I mean, that's really, if you're going to pay attention to something like that, that's all that's going to really give you, is it's just going to show you like, okay, well, this is the pattern that she's had and she's done it 172 times, I mean, that's really, it's just an indicator, because, you can use that and say, okay, is this the kind of mindset chick that I'm looking to settle down with now that I'm wanting to settle down? Well, then, yeah, it might mean something, but I will go back to like what we were talking about and what Steve said and what Donovan said, is that it's just better not to know.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, hopefully it doesn't come up, because it's really an answer that you don't want to hear. And I mean,
and you're never going to believe it anyway, right? So why even? Oh God, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And even if you end up staying with the chick, it's just years later you'll be remembering what she told you about do. It's just no good.
Yeah. It never, listen, man, when you find out some shit about your woman, dude, it doesn't matter how much time goes by. It never, ever, ever leaves you. Ever. You never, ever, ever forget, dude. That much I can tell you for sure. I've actually experienced this with multiple girls. 914-205-5356 is the number to call if you want to get in on the show. Let's go to area code 601. You are on with the red line. Go ahead.
Oh wow, man! It's a privilege to be here, man. Big fan of you, brother Donovan. And
appreciate it.
He's a Dean.
Yo,
gang. And also, my apologies, man. Before I don't want to butcher your name, but well, you're welcome too, man. I really appreciate you being here for all your wisdom.
Oh yeah, Bobby Dino,
brother Bobby D.
Yeah, I've been following you guys, man, for the last 2 to 3 years, man. And
wow,
I've been doing good for the most part.
Okay.
I'll say this right here, man. I got caught up in some shit.
Oh, listen, he said I've been doing good for the most part. It sounds like you've been fucking with these hoes. That's what that is, right? There it is. He said I've been doing good for the most part. I was fucking with these hoes.
Yo, Donovan and Steve. I say this right here, man. Maybe this would be a topic, and you probably guys already covered.
Let's do it.
But man, I realized, man, that I already know 99% that I fell for a chameleon, man.
Ooh. Okay.
And I think this goes to your topic about the body count.
Okay.
So I'm a 35-year-old black man from the deep south of Mississippi. And I came across this chick, hella fine, hella sexy, 28 years old, right? And, my uncle's a pastor. So I'm going to go deep. This some shit.
Uh-oh. We about to bring the Lord in. We about to bring in the Lord.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, man. You about to hear it in my voice. It sounds like thunder, but it's gonna rain.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah. So goes to my uncle's church. She's a church girl. I fell for that demeanor, man. And anything low as fuck after I initially met her. And she insisted that she could count on one hand how many guys that she fucked, right?
Oh no.
And I'm like, yeah, whatever. But here's the thing right here. It took her a month after I'm fucking her that she said, I'm in a situation. Cold words, I got a boyfriend. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh, shit.
I'm like, goddamn. I'm like, damn, bitch. I'm like, why you ain't say that from the jump? Because usually, I don't like no girl.
Right.
Because I'm really not a relationship type of guy.
Sure.
Unless she for herself or whatever. And then come to find out, she lied about that. And then she lied about the dude saying that the motherfucker live in Memphis.
Oh, shit.
Come to find out, I find out 10 months later that the motherfucker lives in an apartment complex across the street from her.
Oh, shit. Oh, my God.
She live in one apartment complex that's gated, but he lives in an apartment complex that's gated, walking distance from her. I'm like, man, this motherfucker full of shit.
Unbelievable, man.
So, I mean, yeah, dog. So, I mean, I need your expertise and your perspective and just fill me in on what you can fill me in based on y'all perspective.
Okay. All right.
Et cetera.
Absolutely. Listen, man, and you're 35. So you're still a young man, right? I'm not much older than you. I'm 41, but at the height of my powers in Vegas, if I was sleeping with 2, 3, sometimes 4 different girls, if I'm sleeping with a girl and she says, Donovan, I got a situation, the first thing coming to my mind is, oh shit, like, are you pregnant? Like, because I know it's not mine. Is it mine? Wait a minute, I wrapped up. Did the condom break? Like, that's what I'm thinking. To me,
Yo, dog. Let me fucking write that down.
Oh, go ahead.
You mentioned that, dog. I said this shit, there's gonna be some thunder and rain, dog.
Oh shit, man.
Come to find out, man, the bitch is pregnant, bro.
No!
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, that's why I call.
Of course she is.
See the demon might get on my ass, but I don't give a fuck. If he get on my ass, I don't give a fuck.
Double whammy, because now we got other issues. Listen, she's got a boyfriend and now she's pregnant. Check this out. She's got a boyfriend and now she's pregnant, right? If you're smashing a girl without a condom and she tells you she has a boyfriend, so let me get this straight. So you wrap up with your boyfriend, but you let me hit it raw. No. Listen, she's taking both loads, and if she says I'm pregnant, okay, well, who's the father, right? Like, y'all need to go to the Maury Povich show. But the first thing that comes to my mind when a girl tells me, if it's just casual sex, she tells me, bad news, Donovan, I have a boyfriend. I'm like, bad news? Nah, bitch, that's good news. Like, he gets to deal with all the bullshit that comes with fucking with you without actually fucking with you. That's the way I saw it. Real quick, shout out to Nick B with the $5 super chat. Thanks for y'all's time and effort. Mr. Miyogi says asking $5 super chat says asking about her notch count is like opening up Pandora's box. Don't worry about it. Just keep opening up her box and enjoy it while it lasts. Caller, man, that's a crazy situation, man. What happened after you found out she was pregnant? Like, where does the story end?
All right, so yeah. So okay, so to make it real current, so I met her last May of 2018, right?
Okay.
I fucked her, I guess you can say a year ago.
Okay.
She told me in June of 2018 that she was in a situation. So I'm like, all right, so I'm just gonna put her in the friend zone, you know, 'cause I really know her head or whatever. She told me that in July of 2018 that she broke up with the guy.
Oh shit, man.
Now keep in mind, this whole time I'm thinking, dude, in Memphis, woo. August roll around, September, October, and in August, September, and October, guess what this motherfucker popping up at? So-called looking for this girl at my Uncle church.
Oh,
I'm like, why is this
my
this
God.
motherfucker up at your church? At that time, I'm still thinking this motherfucker lives in Memphis.
Jesus Christ.
I didn't know because, you know, the more impoverished would be a good thing, but I kind of got a prominent name and where I live at. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can't be exposed like that, but here it is YouTube, baby. But anyway.
Jesus.
And so when I found that out, I told her that you was a deceitful motherfucker. And I hung up the goddamn phone in her face.
Damn, dude.
And she don't want me to get paternity test. And my thought,
of course she doesn't want you to get the paternity test because her boyfriend is an ain't shit dude, right? She knows that she wants him to be the father, but she wants you to be the dad. That's why she doesn't want you to take the paternity test. Unbelievable. Yep. Thanks for the call, area code 601. Listen, Steve, where do we even start with that?
I you know what? I just think, and this is why I always stress to you young men the importance of telling women from the get-go that you're a drama-free man. And if anybody brings drama into your life, they're gone, number one. And this is why I always tell you guys, please protect your sperm. Stop having unprotected sex with these women because you don't know what you're getting yourself involved with. And unfortunately, that happened to this young man, and I feel bad for him. And hanging up the phone is not going to stop the child support or the family court from knocking on your door and making you pay child support for that child. So this is why you got to be careful and protect what you have. And don't listen. That's what you always want to put women through levels. This is why I push those narratives, man. Just because she says that she's one thing doesn't mean that, because women are the greatest liars. They're the best magicians ever because they use wigs, makeup, and all the other stuff to lie. So what you got to do is protect your investment. Now, again, it's not your fault that you had sex with her, because some women are married and will sleep with you and won't tell you. And some women are seeing guys and they won't tell you. So that's not the problem. The only problem I have is that you didn't protect your assets. You didn't protect your sperm, and you're having unprotected sex with someone you really don't know that well. That's where I have the problem. Now, her saying she's pregnant, well, best thing you do is cover CYA and get that DNA test to make sure it's not yours. Like the chat room dogs said it best. Murray, you need to go on Murray.
Yes, sir.
and see if that kid is yours and say you ain't the father, and then wipe your forehead and get to a CVS somewhere in Mississippi, MISSISS, humpback, whatever you call that stuff. Right. And get protection, man.
He said, when it comes to 3-year-old Jaquantre, the father. Bobby, what are your thoughts on my man in Mississippi?
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to agree with Steve right off the bat, that women they're the greatest liars. I mean, guys, we'll think of like these great ass lies, you know, and like it's like 101 compared to what women can do. Like they just do shit that no one will ever know.
And they don't even think about it.
Right. And they don't even, it's just gone to them too. Like it never happened. Right. So the fact that you're catching this woman in lies, that's a big deal, man. And that right there is a deal breaker right out the gate. I mean, the pregnancy, you're going to have to follow through with that, with a DNA test 100%. Otherwise, you know, it's just whatever she puts on that piece of paper, that's going to be like what it is, you know. So you I would definitely recommend following through with the DNA test if there's any implication like it's going to be your kid or she's implied that's what she's implying. But yeah, man, avoid at all costs. Like that one's just got to be on the back burner. Like see ya.
Yeah.
Rearview mirror.
Straight up. Do not sign that birth certificate without a DNA test, man. Listen, if the kid is yours, you do the crime, you got to do the time. But do not sign the birth certificate if you are not 100% sure that kid is yours. Big thanks goes to
I'll tell you what, just to clarify something real quick. In some states, because I know it's like this in California, okay, it doesn't matter whether you sign it or not. It's just what she puts on that birth certificate. It's real weird when you have kids in California.
Wow. Oh, so that's how it is in California then.
It's real weird when you have kids in California because when they come in for all the official paperwork for the child, none of it goes in front of you. It's all right to the woman. You as a father, I've had 2 kids in Cali so far, and I've seen my brothers and sisters born. I know it. Okay, it's crazy, man. Like so yeah, some states it's like that to where just whatever she's gonna put down, that's law.
Jesus, California, dude. That's why they call it the Wild Wild West, man. Dude, a lot of people, listen, when I lived in Vegas for almost 9 years, man, and you would be surprised at how many California transplants come. And you ask them, well, why'd you move? And it was funny, like the first, year and a half, dude, you lived in California. What are you doing in Vegas? Dude, are you kidding me? Have you been to California? I'm like, yeah, LA, Santa Monica, Newport Beach. They're like, nah, man, I'm talking La Puente. I'm talking like the real areas, like where it's where it's for real California, without all the Hollywood stuff. Big thanks goes out to Mick Inks with the $15 super chat. Guys, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell your friends, tell your coworkers, tell your relatives, tell your moms, tell your sisters.
And Donovan, real quick, I just want to say to the chat room dogs, I'm proud of y'all motherfuckers. I want to give a shout out to the chat room guys, man. We really love y'all, man, and we love that y'all are staying on point. Y'all focus. Let's keep it going, guys. I just want to be proud of y'all guys, man.
Yeah, listen, we're not out of the woods yet. This is actually going a lot better than I had originally anticipated, to be honest with you. We got about a half an hour left on the show. Let's continue with our chat conversation. So we gave the red pill response to the how many guys have you slept with. Let's go to the blue pill side. Right now, blue pill Donovan would be shocked at whatever number he gives her, right? And the reason why is because blue pill guys, they don't really know how slutty women really are, point blank period. Guys, listen, you will never get over that number because never in your wildest dreams would a woman ever sleep with men into the double digits, let alone half 100? Now, if she lies and she says, okay, Donovan, if you really want to know, I've slept with 11 guys my entire life, and 8 of them were my boyfriends at the time. Yeah, I made 3 mistakes, but they were a long time ago. Now, red pill Donovan knows that she has had cocks into the triple digits. Guys, easily in the triple digits. The reason why he knows this beyond the shadow of a doubt is because she put the number way too low. Guys, get this through your thick heads, man. Every girl lies about her notch count. All of them. And they do it in one of 2 ways. They either make the number high enough so that it's believable but slightly eyebrow-raising, or they make it so low it makes them look like an epic whore, which she is, or a good girl, right, to someone who isn't red pill aware. Here's something else that I'll tell you guys. This is going to be funny. So you have a girl that tells you, okay, I've slept with 5 guys. Her actions will always tell the tale, right? So let's say you're with a girl. Yeah, I've had sex with 6 guys. But dude, she's giving you that bomb-ass brain. She's giving you that bomb-ass blowjob. She begs you to go backdoor and all this other kind of stuff. At that point, you know that number is not 6. That number is probably closer to 666. Bobby, what are your thoughts on a girl who tells you that her notch count is low, but then all of a sudden, like, she gives you that sex that you really can't seem to leave alone?
Here's the thing about women that I will tell you straight up, and this is kind of what we were talking about earlier, with them giving you the looks or giving you whatever. women have this sense of adventure, this sense of like spontaneity, right? They like a man to be spontaneous with them. They like to, be swept off their feet, right?
Right.
They will do shit in the weirdest places and give you those little, oh, come over here in the weirdest places and do that. I mean, like, to where it's like you weren't even thinking about it, but it's like she's throwing it at you. You're like, whoa, really? Wow. So when the woman is telling you, when they're sitting there telling you stuff like, oh, I've only been with a few, trust and believe that they've been one of those chicks who have been looking at guys, at the fucking car wash, hey, or, whichever, because it's not the fact that they're even talking about it and bringing it up and they're trying to convince you. That's a red flag in and of itself right there.
Steve, I know you've had this experience.
Well, yeah, but like you were saying, with a lot of these blue pill guys, they think these women are sugar and spice and everything nice. They think that they wake up, they go to work, and then they go to bed at 6 o'clock after they put on their little facials and they get up under the covers and they wear their long gowns back they used to have like in the 1800s and all this other stuff. And the thing is that that's not true. I mean, it's like something like Bobby was saying, he's on point. It's like, damn, girl, where'd you learn how to do that? She's like, well, I'm a good girl, and I just go home and I just watch TV. And then she's like, well, yeah, let me start gargling your balls or something. You're like, God, where did you learn that trick from? And that's
my
when
first boyfriend told me, nah, bitch, nah.
all that stuff swinging off of swings. It's like some of you guys don't realize when they know they feel comfortable with you, that's when they'll open up the closet or the dungeon with the whips and the mask and the chains and all that freaky stuff that you thought about. And guys, like Bobby said, like Donovan said, you listen. Don't trust them. Guys, go to Amazon and get, like I told you, get a blue light and look at all
the black light.
Get the black light and look at all the war wounds that they have had.
My God.
Guys, if you want to know the truth. But that's what I'm saying, guys. You don't even want to go in their bedroom with that light.
No, oh, hell.
You go in their bedroom with that light, it'll be so many splotches.
No, let's see. Here's the thing: if you go into the bedroom with the black light, you would be completely fooled because wow, like it's kind of dark in here, but there don't seem to be any blank spots on the wall. No. Those motherfuckers are painted.
Yeah, she painted. Yeah,
3 coats on that motherfucker. Wow, not a spot, huh? Yeah, no, it's one big spot.
Yeah, it's one big launch. Yeah, so I'm just saying, yeah, you listen, that a Dama, I'm sticking to my guns, guys. Like old what's the boy say? You can't handle the truth. So do not ask.
Don't do it.
Go away from that question because you don't want to handle that truth, man.
Let me ask you something, just hypothetically speaking, right? Because we always see these dystopia movies where there's some sort of technology where it can tell you the blood. I mean, there's always crazy technology, right? What if there were an invention? What if somebody came up with an invention, almost like a temporal thermometer, where you could run it across a woman's forehead and her notch count comes up, right? Hi, I'm Donovan. Hi, I'm Susan. 435. God damn. Susan, thank you very much. How do you think that would change things? Like if people's notch counts were for real, like we're just floating above their head, if there was some way to get the truth, do you think that would change things? Or would the numbers be so high relative to one another that a woman who has slept with 75 guys is really considered, the Virgin Mary? What are your thoughts on that, Bobby?
If a notch counter became available, I'd want one. Yeah, heck yeah. I'd buy a golden case for that thing.
Oh yeah,
and have it engraved and like keep it in my thing as I walked around. I mean, because just think of the implications of that, right? It's not just women you want to be like involved with. It's like it's your little tramp daughter that you're like going, oh, is she going out again? Hey, come here.
Yeah, right.
I'm
Oh, I
sure.
can't
That
believe it.
number
That
was
guy.
different last week. Yeah, you gone up 3 points fucking in a week. All right.
Oh
I
my
mean, the
God.
implications are great. So hell yeah, I'd want something
Dude,
like
if we
that.
keep the wife, like if keep like you scan your wife every time she comes home. Come on.
Right. Come here.
All right. Boom. All right.
All
Boom.
right.
Wait.
Hey, and then,
What
and,
the?
and the fact that you're making it like a temporal thing, they don't even got to be awake.
Nope.
You
can
could
do
do
it.
it on the sly, like while they're sleeping. Just be like,
Right, exactly. Look, she'll be asleep. Vroom. How the fuck did she fuck somebody? Wait a minute. What the fuck?
yeah, you're waking her up like, what the fuck?
What the fuck are you doing? Oh my God, I was dreaming about it. Steve, what are your thoughts on that? If there were an imaginary invention where you could really tell a woman's notch count, how would that change the game?
I don't, you know what? I don't think it changes the game at all for a lot of these guys that are looking for these one night stands. They go on YouTube to try to sleep with a girl and use all these tricks to sleep with her, but they never think for a second. If you have no game and she's giving you ass because you have no game, what is she doing to the Bobbies and the Donovans of the world? But see, a lot of these guys don't think about that. I think a lot of these guys don't care. Because a lot of these guys, unfortunately, for right now, they are just about this, you know what? I'll take half of something to nothing at all. And I don't think they would care because their thirst for sex is so high with a lot of these guys. They're doing everything they possibly can for it. They're working out for it. They're putting rims on their cars for it. They're dressing for it. So if she had a scarlet letter or a they wouldn't care because they like, you know what? Oh, they would maybe for a second, Donovan. Maybe for a second they'd be like, oh man, but they'd be like, so I don't care. If she giving it to me, I'm gonna go ahead and take it. So I don't think it's gonna change, brother.
What if I told you there already is what if I told you that invention already exists? You want to know what that invention is, guys? It's called the smartphone. Okay. It's called the smartphone, social media, and Tinder. You can correctly assume that if a woman, 3 elements, I call this the element of 50. If a woman has a smartphone, which George Bruno, who is in the chat, calls it a box of dicks. If she has a smartphone, number 1, okay. If she has social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and she has Tinder or a dating app, a girl has fucked at least 50 guys. 50 guys. 50 is the floor, okay? Smartphone plus social media plus Tinder equals 50 guys. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong, Bobby. What do you think about that?
I think that yeah, that's a conservative number. I think that a lot, and I think that the more detailed and like the more done up the pictures, and
wow.
I mean, it's just like because check it out. Here's the thing too, man. Just like Steve was saying too. These guys, when they're in private and when they're just with one-on-one with the girl and they don't have their bros, in the background going, oh no, man, she's been with fucking 700 dudes. When all that's removed, right, and it's just like one-on-one, and she's giving you that look, they're just like, all right, and they'll even start throwing money at it. So now these chicks are just turning into little sugar babies.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And so yeah, going up on those Instagrams when you're seeing that flashy stuff and seeing that they're really done up and there's a bunch of pictures. Yeah, and then the picture ratio's got something to do with it definitely as well. Like the amount of pictures versus the amount. But definitely.
No, I agree. Steve, what do you think? Smartphone plus social media plus Tinder equals 50 dudes.
Multiply that by 2.
Oh,
all right. Think about this, Donna, for a second. There was a time. Now, guys, I'm gonna take y'all back, because I'm old here, but there was a time back in the day where there was no internet, so women really had not a big of a notch count because the only guys they would date was either in the neighborhood or a little bit outside the city.
Right.
So once they got connected to the quote unquote World Wide Web, they connected with every dick that was connected to the World Wide Web.
Wow.
And what you guys don't understand is now there is some game to this, Donovan, that I think we need to talk about, because there are women out there that use their body to draw men in to buy them stuff. They use the sexuality to do that. So it's not that I'm saying they're sleeping with them, but there's sugar daddy instances. There are guys that they are smashing. I mean, y'all guys understand, she has access to every dick all around the planet.
That's right.
Planet,
right,
that has access to her. So not to say she's gargling dicks, yeah, I mean, but
she's kind of gargling dicks, bruh.
Yeah, she's gargling dicks, yeah, I mean.
If she DMs any one of them male followers, they're getting back on it like that.
Oh, of course.
I mean, that's all it is. You know, the chick has a big old following like that. All those dudes are instantaneous access.
Unbelievable, man. Let's. I'm gonna quickly go through the chat here, and just gonna respond to some of the chat messages here. Let's see. I'm gonna go up to Sharp Assist. He says, "Don't tell another man what gets your girl off. Don't give away the cheat codes." That's very, very smart. Obviously, very, very smart advice. We had a guy in here, Delinks04 said, "Saw my friend's girlfriend on Twitter. Suppose I should tell him." What do you think, Steve?
I mean, what was the question again, Donovan?
He found out that his friend's girlfriend is on Tinder. And he says, "I suppose I should tell him." My advice to him was take a screen grab and share away.
Yeah,
what do you?
Well, but here's the thing. Who's to say that his fetish is to have his girl on Tinder and probably bring somebody in as a cuck? So we really don't know.
Right?
You really don't know why. But again, that's that territory where I don't really want to, because if they got something kinky going on, I don't want.
You don't know, right? I'd be like, yo, it's all right, it's cool. We got a kinky thing.
Right. You don't know, but now it's one thing to see her walking down the street with a dude, maybe, but
yeah, that would be.
Yeah, that's a tough one, man. Because I always tell guys, I try to stay out of my boys' business because I don't want that to happen to me. You know, if I'm doing some I don't need him to be like, well, you won't believe this. So that, to me, I would just stay out, Donovan. What's your take on that, brother?
Yeah, Bobby. What would you advise the guy? Listen, sees his friend's girlfriend on Tinder. Do you tell the friend? Do you take a screen grab? Or what do you do?
Hey, and forgive me for not having the video on. I'm just
That's cool.
Go back and pad real quick because I'm getting low battery. I need to.
No. We've got another couple of minutes. We're good.
Okay, cool. So yeah, here's the thing. Your buddy's going to find out anyway, and as long as you didn't have anything to do with it, it really depends on how much of a bro you are. If this is somebody, if this is someone that you've been friends with for a long time and somebody that is like a real brother, then I'd tell him that. Okay. Most definitely, especially if it didn't have nothing to do with you. You know what I mean? You're just like, hey man, I was on here, boom, I saw that. But associates, people that you don't have a lot of time invested in. You got to choose it. You got to choose it wisely. You got to leave that, just leave that drama and back off of it.
Got another question here, and this will be the last question of the night. This was interesting. I think the answer is obvious. Mick Inks, who actually had a $15 super chat earlier, says, "Is having sex with 50 guys the same as having sex 50 times with one guy?" What do you think, Steve?
Wait, he just confused me.
No, check this out.
All right, say it again.
Is having sex with 50 guys one time apiece the same as having sex 50 times with just one guy?
Oh, I see what you're
saying. No. There's no way. That's nowhere close to the same.
Nowhere close to the same because that's just
one person.
Right. That's just one. That's just one dick going in there.
Right. Housewives, not sluts, right? At least housewives that are married to their husbands and don't cheat. Yes.
Yeah. But 50, you got 50 different sizes.
Different.
You got a 12, 11 hitting it, a 7, a 6, a 4. So it's different things beating up those inner walls where they are crumbling, and they looking like chewed up meat.
God, yes.
It's a lot of stuff going on, guys, man. Y'all got to be careful of that stuff, yo.
And I swear to God, Bobby, what do you think, man? 50 times with one guy or 50 guys one time each?
Oh, whoa! I think I just knocked down my my tripod.
No, we're good.
So you know, one dude, you know, I saw Andrew Tate made this comparison. It kind of goes like this: if a girl's only had like one type of ice cream, she's gonna think it's really great ice cream, right? But then by the time she's had like 50,
31 flavors,
types of ice cream, she's gonna be like, well, maybe that one was good, or maybe that one was good, or I don't know if this one was my favorite, or I kind of like them all, you know?
Right.
So the one flavor, being just the one dude, that might actually be beneficial. You know what I mean? Because the other way is just that's disaster.
No, listen, I totally agree. Listen, with or without the ice cream analogy is a very good analogy. Yeah, of course they're different, right? Because if you have a virgin bride who's only slept with her husband, she's obviously going to be a different person than the slut who's had sex with, 867 men. Guys, listen, it was a pleasure. Bobby, I appreciate you taking time out of your day to come on to this. You were sort of a last minute ad here. Thank you.
No,
listen,
man, this is
very, very much.
Yeah, anytime, man. This is always a pleasure coming on.
Absolutely. Steve, any last words, man?
No, hey, again, man, I love the phone calls. The calls were awesome today, man. Hey, my chat room dogs, man, much love and respect to the chat room dogs, man. We had a great time, and I think my hat is going off to them as well as the callers, man.
Absolutely. This was not what I expected tonight. Like I had to bring everything down. Okay, I got to be level-headed. Now we got the Red Man group tomorrow. That's going to be a whole different animal, but I think our audience certainly represented them well. And they showed why we have the most intelligent audience in the manosphere. So thank you guys. Thank you, Bobby. Thank you, Steve. That is going to do it for this edition of the Redline. Fang Boston with the $2 super chat says, thanks for taking my call. Enjoy your turn, men. Take care, guys. We will see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Different bat time, same bat channel. Take care.